The notion that vaccines are necessary for Christians who follow Jesus stems from a combination of spiritual, heretical, and often misguided interpretations of biblical teachings. This perspective is often rooted in the belief that faith in God and adherence to biblical principles provides sufficient protection against diseases, rendering vaccines redundant. Proponents of this view often cite biblical passages that emphasize trust in God's providence and healing power, such as Psalm 91:10, which speaks of God's protection from pestilence, or Exodus 15:1-6, where God promises to be the healer of his people. However, this perspective overlooks the fundamental role of medicine and science in God's creation. The Bible encourages the use of wisdom, knowledge, and the gifts God has given humanity to alleviate suffering and promote health. The Apostle Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, emphasizes the importance of using the gifts and resources available to us for the common good. 1 Corinthians 12:7. In this context, vaccines can be seen as a gift of God, developed through human ingenuity and the application of scientific knowledge to prevent suffering and protect life. Moreover, the Christian perspective on vaccines should be informed by the principle of loving one's neighbor as oneself. Mark 12:31. Vaccination not only protects the individual but also contributes to herd immunity, safeguarding vulnerable members of the community, such as the elderly, young children, and those with compromised immune systems who may not be able to receive vaccines due to health reasons. By choosing to vaccinate, Christians demonstrate their love and care for their neighbors, aligning with Jesus' teaching to love one another as he has loved us. John 13:34. It is also crucial to address the misconception that vaccines are somehow at odds with faith or that they represent a lack of trust in God's sovereignty. Faith and science are not mutually exclusive, rather, they complement each other. Science is a tool that God has given humanity to understand and navigate the world, including the prevention and treatment of diseases. The development and use of vaccines are examples of how human knowledge, guided by principles of justice, compassion, and the preservation of life, can reflect God's love for humanity. Furthermore, historical examples of Christian leaders and theologians advocating for medical interventions, including vaccination, underscore the compatibility of faith with preventive healthcare. For instance, during the smallpox epidemics of the 18th century, Christian ministers and missionaries played significant roles in promoting inoculation and later vaccination as a means of protecting life and reducing suffering. In conclusion, the idea that vaccines are unnecessary for Christians who follow Jesus is based on a narrow and misguided interpretation of biblical teachings. In reality, the decision to vaccinate can be a manifestation of faith in action, reflecting a commitment to preserving life, respecting the gift of science and medicine, and demonstrating love and care for the community. By recognizing the value of vaccines as a health intervention, Christians can harmonize their faith with responsible stewardship of the body and contribute to the well-being of society as a whole. Ultimately, vaccines are not a substitute for faith, but a complementary tool given by God to aid in the protection of human life and the fulfillment of the command to love one's neighbor.